Good afternoon. Welcome to SpaceX's live coverage of the Northrop Mission Robotic Vehicle and Mission Extension Pods mission to geostationary transfer orbit for Northrop Grumman. SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket is currently awaiting liftoff from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, and launch is scheduled for 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time today. Hi everyone, my name is Ronnie Foreman, and I'm the director of the Rideshare program here at SpaceX. Thanks for joining. The payload for today's launch includes a first-of-its-kind multi-mission satellite servicing vehicle. Northrop Grumman developed its Mission Robotic Vehicle, or MRV, with significant technology investments and in partnership with the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, also known as DARPA. 3 pods are launching alongside the MRV today, which will be the nation's first multi-mission robotic servicer in space. It's capable of repairing, relocating, inspecting, upgrading, and servicing other satellites with 2 robotic arms, which were provided by DARPA and built by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory. 22,000 miles above Earth in geosynchronous orbit, MRV will use those 2 robotic arms to attach mission extension pods, or MEPs for short, which are like mini jetpacks, to extend the life of satellites running low on fuel, helping them maneuver and extend their service life by up to 8 years. The Northrop Mission Robotic Vehicle and Mission Extension Pods mission is SpaceX's 87th Falcon launch this year. At just over T-minus 9 minutes until launch, our teams are currently tracking no issues for flight and only a 10% probability of weather violation at our target T0 time. If the teams need to stand down from launch today, our backup opportunity is available tomorrow, July 22nd, also at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. At the request of our customer, we will be closing the show today following the cutoff of our MVAC engine for the second time, called SECO 2, just before payload deployment. With that, let's take a moment to hear about today's mission as we wait for liftoff.
Northrop Grumman's satellite servicing effort began with a simple idea that satellites should not be disposable. Most satellites are decommissioned when they run low on fuel. It's as if you leave your car on the side of the road when it runs low on gas, and then you go out and buy a new one. Our first generation of satellite servicing vehicles were designed to extend the life of satellites that were running low on fuel. Our mission extension vehicles, MEV-1 and MEV-2, are on orbit doing just that and performing brilliantly. Now, we're launching our second generation spacecraft that are taking satellite servicing to a whole new level. The Mission Robotic Vehicle, or MRV, has robotic arms that can perform a variety of functions. The robotics suite was developed under a DARPA program and were built by the Naval Research Lab. MRV will install our mission extension pods, or MEPs, which are like mini jetpacks that are smaller versions of our first generation vehicles. MRV can use its arms to repair satellites, relocate them for disposal, and install new payloads on satellites. It's also equipped with our passive refueling mechanism that allows spacecraft to be refueled in space. Soon, we'll be able to use this robot to assemble large structures in space, or even build a new spacecraft on orbit. It started with a vision that was almost science fiction, and the people of Northrop Grumman are making it a reality today.
The flight-proven Falcon 9 supporting today's mission is a 2-stage rocket designed for the reliable and safe transport.
Engines are chilling in for flight.
There's a call out from Mission Control that we're beginning engine chill just under 7 minutes to liftoff. Now, starting at the very top of the rocket is our payload fairing. The fairing is a protective shell that shields the payload from aerodynamic heating until the vehicle is outside the Earth's atmosphere. The shape of the fairing contributes to Falcon 9's overall efficiency by helping to reduce drag during flight. Once in space, the 2 fairing halves separate and fall back to Earth to reveal today's payload, which you can see here during encapsulation just a few days ago. Both halves of the fairing are flight proven. One side is flying for the...
Stage 1, RP1 load complete.
There's confirmation that RP1 has been loaded on our first stage. And again, that flight-proven fairing, which you can see on your screen right now, one half is flying for the 31st time and the other for its 7th. If recovery goes to plan today, those fairings will be pulled from the ocean and prepped to fly again. Right below the fairing is Falcon 9's second stage, which features a single Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine. Below the second stage is the black carbon fiber inner stage, and inside of that is where the MVAC engine is located. Below that is the first stage, or booster, which will be fully loaded with about 1 million pounds of liquid oxygen and rocket-grade kerosene called RP-1. The first stage makes up the bottom 2/3 of the vehicle and has 9 Merlin M1D engines at the bottom, which together generate more than 1.7 million pounds of thrust. The booster supporting today's mission will be making its 32nd and final flight today. It previously launched NASA's CRS-24, Eutelsat Hotbird 13F, OneWeb 1, SES 18 and 19, and 27 Starlink missions. For most missions, our first stage will separate and make its way back to Earth for reuse, but today's mission requires Falcon 9's maximum performance to deliver the Northrop Mission Robotic Vehicle and mission extension pods to their intended orbit. That means the booster will...
Vehicle tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
There we hear we're pressurizing Falcon 9 so the strong back can retract away from the vehicle. And with that, let's take a moment to say farewell to the booster that is flying its final mission today. It wasn't so long ago that a rapidly reusable rocket was considered by many to be impossible. It just hadn't been done. Then Falcon 9 came along and changed an entire industry. As reuse became more routine...
Strong back retract.
Confirmation our strong back is retracting. That opened up launch opportunities for more missions more frequently than ever before. The booster flying today has served SpaceX customers well. During its 32 missions, this single first stage has launched critical supplies and research to the International Space Station. And since its first launch in December 2021, it has supported a whopping 27 Starlink missions, helping connect people around the world with high-speed, low-latency internet. On top of that, it has launched several more missions for customers that, of course, include Eutelsat, OneWeb, and SES. Now it's time to say goodbye and thank you for one more launch, which is scheduled to lift off in just about 3 minutes and 46 seconds. There we got the first visual on your screen of the strong back retracting away from Falcon 9. And you can see those clamp arms at the base of stage 2 are fully open as we begin that retraction. The strong back, or the TE, is what we use to roll Falcon 9 out to the pad and raise it into its vertical launch position. It stays connected through the final seconds before liftoff, providing power, telemetry, and command connections. And of course, fueling. The TE is also used to stabilize Falcon 9 in the lead up to fueling and prevent it from moving in high winds. At this
Stage 1 lock load complete.
There's confirmation that stage 1 is fully fueled with liquid oxygen, or LOX for short. Now at this point in the countdown, Falcon 9 is standing freely at the top, but still pinned in the bottom. Just before liftoff, those engines will ignite, and then Falcon 9 will lift off the pad. Great shots of our launch pad in Florida there. The next call out we're waiting for is that we are fully fueled on board our second stage as well as our first, and we're expecting that in just the next couple seconds.
Stage 2 lock load complete.
Right on schedule. The next major visual milestone we'll have is the venting down of the TE LOX lines. We'll likely hear that called out over the nets and see a cloud form around the rocket as that liquid oxygen is vented into the warm Florida air.
Ground gas closeouts.
There's confirmation from Mission Control that we are in that closeout phase. And now we're just standing by for the call out that Falcon 9 is in startup mode. That will mean that our autonomous flight computers have taken over the countdown and that we are pressurizing the vehicle for liftoff.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Confirmation there, and now we are just waiting on the final call out from our launch director that we are go for liftoff.
Launch director, go for launch.
Great news there. LD is go for launch. Let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 prepares for liftoff. At just over T minus 30 seconds, all systems are go for launch.
T minus 30 seconds. T minus 15 seconds. T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go MRV, and go MEP.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
MOD tier pressures are nominal.
At T plus 30 seconds into flight, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The vehicle is currently throttling down to prepare for Max Q, the point of maximum aerodynamic stress on the rocket.
Power and telemetry nominal.
There's confirmation from Mission Control that everything is on track. Max Q is reached when the air density of the atmosphere...
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
And there's confirmation that Falcon 9 is now moving faster than the speed of sound. So again, we are standing by for Max Q, which is reached when the air density of the atmosphere decreases faster than the increasing speed of the rocket, and that's why it's a critical milestone for us during flight.
Max Q.
Right on schedule. So now there are several events coming up back to back that are going to start with MECO, or main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start, or SES-1. MECO is just what it sounds like. That's the moment when the first stage engine shut down because the booster has done all that was needed to get the second stage and payload to orbit. MECO immediately precedes stage separation, when the first and second stages are decoupled from each other. After that, the second stage ignites its single Merlin vacuum, or MVAC engine, for the first time.
MVAC in flight chill.
There we heard we're beginning to chill that MVAC engine for ignition up in space. Awesome views there as we take our mission robotic vehicle and MEPs to orbit. We are standing by for main engine cutoff just under 30 seconds from now. And for those of you following along at home, you do have in the bottom corner of your screen a good readout of our current speed and altitude telemetry, as well as an indicator of which engines are currently lit on board our first stage.
MECO. Stage separation confirmed.
There we had confirmation of main engine cutoff and stage separation. Great views
MVAC ignition.
of both of those, and of course MVAC ignition on board our second stage as well. Now coming up next is fairing separation. More great views of that MVAC engine burning up in space as we take our payloads to orbit today.
Fairing separation confirmed.
There we have a great visual of fairing separation and of course our announcement from Mission Control. So those two fairing halves are now making their way back to Earth to hopefully be recovered again. And coming up next is SECO-1, the first shutdown of the Merlin vacuum engine on board our second stage, which is expected at about T plus 8 minutes, followed by SES-2, when the Merlin vacuum engine on that second stage is going to relight. We're going to take a short break, and we'll see you back here just before SECO-1.
Stage 1 FTS safe.
Stage 2 has entered terminal guidance.
Welcome back to SpaceX's live coverage of the Northrop Mission Robotic Vehicle and Mission Extension Pods launch. We have had an excellent mission so far today, with an on-time liftoff at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
Stage 2 FTS safe.
We are now standing by for SECO 2 of our MVAC engine. I'm sorry, SECO 1.
And back shutdown.
There we have confirmation that MVAC has shut down for the first time on today's mission.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And confirmation from Mission Control that we are in a good orbit. The next milestone we're waiting for is second engine start 2, when our MVAC engine on board the second stage will relight. That's set to occur at T plus 28 minutes and 52 seconds. So we're going to take another break here to stretch our legs and leave you with some more great views and space tunes. Welcome back to SpaceX's live launch coverage of the Northrop Mission Robotic Vehicle and Mission Extension Pods. We've had a great mission so far today with an on-time liftoff at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Before the break, Falcon 9 performed a successful shutdown of our second stage engine, MVAC. Now we're coming up on the next milestone, SES-2, when that Merlin vacuum engine will restart. SES-2 is expected at T plus 28 minutes and 52 seconds. The payload for today's launch was developed by Northrop Grumman in partnership with DARPA. 3 pods are launching alongside the MRV today, which will be the nation's first multi-mission robotic servicer in space. It's capable of repairing, relocating, inspecting, upgrading, and servicing other satellites with 2 robotic arms, which were provided by DARPA and built by the U.S. Naval Research Lab. 22,000 miles above the Earth in geosynchronous orbit, MRV will use those robotic arms to attach mission extension pods, or MEPs for short, which are basically mini jetpacks designed to extend the life of satellites running low on fuel, helping them to maneuver and extend their service life by up to 8 years. MRV MEP will carry out operational missions for national security, civil, and commercial space customers. We're standing by with just about 15 seconds until SES-2. Once MVAC relights, we are expecting this burn to last just over 1 minute. You can see on your screen we have had successful SES-2 for our MVAC engine. You can always follow along with how our stages are doing with your telemetry in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and you can also see the G-force currently being experienced by Stage 2 in that G-force counter on the right-hand side. Just about 10 seconds left in this burn.
Nominal orbit insertion 2.
There's Mission Control announcing that we have a good orbit, and with that, the Northrop MRV MEP is well on its way to orbit. Now, as a reminder, we won't be showing any deployment views today at the request of our customer, so that will bring us to the end of our live mission coverage. We'd like to thank Northrop Grumman for entrusting us with their spacecraft today, and we'd also like to thank the FAA and Eastern Range for their support of today's mission. Be sure to check out spacex.com/launches for the most up-to-date information on upcoming missions, and follow us at SpaceX on X. See you next time.